right, this is the Edwards garden take 2 in midsummer. It's a bright sunny day today. My flowers on my patio have done a lot better since last I showed you them, and we love it. That's called the Money Maker Tomato, or mortgage lifter. And if you can see in our windowsill, we have a ton of tomatoes. We've been canning a ton, dehydrating a ton. Here's our tall okra. This was much bigger than last time I showed you. All of the green beans are on the lower half. Our deck is still looking pretty cool. Our peppers are doing awesome. You almost have to be tall enough to see everything. We've already made 20 cans of blackberries, and we still have a ton on the vine. See how they first turn red and then black. Our onions and leeks are doing good. Our carrots are about ready to come up, and then we'll replant something else in that. These are all of our peppers back there that we've been eating on and dehydrating and roasting, smoking I mean. Here's my bee balm, is almost done flowering. I have a beautiful hydrangea back here I forgot to show everybody about. Our new black paint up at the top, we love it. And our tomatillos we're already storing in the freezer, and then we'll make salsa verde sauce with them. This is the upper garden, just huge. But so far we've eaten nothing but lettuce, mustards, and Swiss chard nonstop. And then now all of our tomatoes and blackberries are coming off the vine. We've canned lots of tomato paste already, and pickles, or cucumbers, and they're all still coming. So we're gonna still have a lot. This is our more blackberries. I can't believe we've already done 20 blackberry jams or preserves, and they're still coming. I mean, we're loaded. Anyway, we love it. I know it probably looks the same from last time, but everything's bigger. And I have to do this in segments or I can't send the videos. Okay, so bye, and I'll be back. All right, this is the lower half. All of my flowers have been taking off. So, rosebush over here, cacti, all my geraniums and purple coneflower, bee balm, white Shasta daisies, more flowers. More blackberries all up in there. Another tomato plant here. All of my flowers. You can hear the birds. Just love it. There's always bees over everything. These are all my medicines. This is our, what we call our Stonehenge garden. Got bee balm, all the herbs. Costa garden still looking great. More euthanasia, nice tall phlox. White Shasta daisies are coming to an end. Hostas are blooming. More blackberries back in here. They're all over the place. Oh, and the tomatoes are loaded. I mean, these are the cherry tomatoes. They're all up in here. Here's the Swiss chard that we're still eating on. Peppers galore. More blackberries over here. I don't know why I keep calling them raspberries. My zinnias are just now getting ready to bloom. So these are annual flowers, and they will be bloomed for the rest until the frost. So they're great. We have them planted everywhere. So when all my perennials are done blooming, then the zinnias will be the color, and they're just now starting. So here's our tomatoes, and you can barely get in here. We got a lot of cherry tomatoes, and we got some big Romas, and They're all back in there. There's more back in there. Our zucchini plants are huge, just huge. We've been eating zucchini almost every day, and green beans, and cucumbers, and more Swiss chard. Okay, so our tatsos and lettuces are done. They bolt in the heat. And we'll be ripping these out and putting either more or something new. Okay, but this is the more tomatoes everywhere. They're just coming along really nice. And then back up on the hill, there's even more blackberries up there. So, anyway, we love it. I just love my flowers. I love our paths that we've created. Love the flowers, the paths. Alright, I'm going to show you the third section of the garden. Alright, so I'm going to take you to the side garden that is all new this year. Trevor has worked so hard. He's the one who takes care of everything except for the flowers, and even then he does take care of the flowers. But I basically do the flowers and make herbs and medicines, but he's out here slaving all the time, making new beds and everything. So these are our cattle panels that we got this year. We made 3 new beds, and these cattle panels, they make an arch. And what we have growing on this side is these Italian zucchinis, and look at them. They're so bizarre. We've been eating zucchini every day. And then he's got cucumbers on the other side, and he picks them pretty much on a regular basis. Here they are. We've already canned, I don't know, I think 16 maybe pickles already. Here's some more zinnias, those annual flowers I told you about. They're about ready to start opening, and once they start opening, they just take off and they'll be nothing but a mass of color for the rest of the season until your first frost. They'll replace the perennial flowers that will end up dying back, but perennials come back every year, so that's nice. Annuals do not come back every year, but they give a massive amount of color. We have more spaghetti squash down here. We have some spaghetti squash down here. We are growing potatoes. We're growing these potatoes in these bins. Okay, and then we have more blackberries back here. We're loaded with the blackberries. And then on the other cattle panel is more green beans, the climbing kind, and then more zucchini or spaghetti squash. So the spaghetti squashes are hanging. And the nice thing about the spaghetti squash and the Italian zucchini on the other panel is that you can eat them now, or you can let them stay on the vine and harden, what they call harden off. And when they harden off, then you can store them for almost 6 months, just right on the shelf. I have some flowers here. This is kind of our side yard with the neighbor. And then we did get the house, that's amaranth. Did get the house painted there up at the top, the black. I think it looks good against the orange brick. Anyway, Trevor does so much of this. He planted seeds indoors with new grow lights starting in January. So by March we were already eating lettuces and mustards and greens. Then we planted some things directly outside in February, and he housed them. The hoop house is where you can put plastic over it. These little white things here are hoops right here. So these white things here, you can put plastic screen over it and it'll make like a greenhouse, and we were able to get our lettuces out pretty soon. So we were eating our fresh fruit all in March, and we've been eating the mustard, greens, Swiss chards, and lettuce all the way up until now. Some of the lettuce now is dying back, but the spinach greens are still coming. Now we're eating almost on a daily basis either zucchini or green beans, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers galore. And as soon as some of the things are done, like carrots and these lettuces, we'll pull them out, and then we're going to go for the broccolis. We'll be planting broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts soon for a fall harvest. And then you can also plant green beans again for a fall harvest. The ochre plants, which are up at the top garden and down here, are just now starting to shape. And these will be they'll go all the way into the fall as well. So we're eating good. We've canned a ton already. We dehydrate a ton, and we're eating fresh a ton. We do some freezing of things, but we're always concerned about what if the electricity. All right, here's the front house. We had all the white or cream colored painted black. So we've got some plants out here, not too much, because it's so shady under the portico. But we've had the black added, which we really like. And this is a pretty little garden. This is the top of the blackberry patch from up here, and then we've got more flowers and herbs up here. So this is the front of the house, and we had all the vanilla colored painted black, and we really love it. We put up this border, these nice tall grasses, so that we can kind of start having some privacy a little bit in the front without blocking the house off. But mainly because it was so hard to mow this front ditch from the road. But we have some flowering Rosa Sharons, and I've got more daisies and purple flower up here too. But you can get a little view into the house from the road up here. And these grasses, though, you cut them back in the fall, so they'll grow pretty tall. I love this bay window now. I mean, I think it just looks sharp. So when Trevor and I went to England and Wales, we noticed that the old style brick that had the orange color like we do, that the majority of them were using black against the orange. And I have to say, I love it. So anyway, this is kind of the front yard. Eventually we're going to do something between these trees and make rocks, and it's hard to mow and nothing grows there, but we've mainly been focusing on the backyard. And so we do have a little bit, oh, the paint's still there. Sorry, I haven't picked up the paint. This is just the front. And we've got a little entry there. All right.